Welcome back to the ATX VGC Monday Night Friendlies, y'all. Tonight, we are in for a very special treat. We have two additional commentators. We're going to have 6 total commentators for the night, and that is super exciting. Hey, how's it going, DJ Prime? So tonight, we have got actually 5 battles all lined up. This is going to be kind of a wild night in terms of this. These are all very first for ATX VGC here. I'm gonna go ahead. My name is Gemma. I also go by Gems. And y'all, I'm gonna let all of my other wonderful co-hosts introduce themselves.
Hi guys, I'm Nibs Plays Games.
Oh hey, I'm Amy, aka Woke Flossie.
My name is Chase, also Tiki VGC.
Hey, I'm Will, go by Sir Wilson.
I'm Roller Coaster, I went last.
For sure. So we have got some really exciting matches, Series 7 matches ready for y'all. We showcased 4 Series 7 matches on the channel last week, and those YouTube videos will start going up actually tomorrow. So if y'all want to get caught up on what happened last time, you can check that out starting tomorrow. But for tonight, I'm not even going to try and remember all 5 of the games. I know that we start with myself versus Prime, and then I believe it is Justin Snores versus Sir Wilson. So everyone you see here, for the most part, will also be battling at one point tonight. We are all Austin, Texas based tonight in terms of our commentators, and we're going to be welcoming a whole bunch of new people to the stream in terms of having first-time battlers. So if y'all over in the chat want to be super awesome and give tons of encouragement, that would be really great.
Hey guys, what's going on? We are ATX VGC and we are back with another night of Monday Night Friendlies. Sir Wilson, how are you feeling tonight going into this? This is going to be our biggest Monday Night Friendlies that we have had so far.
Dude, it's gonna be special. We have 5 battles and a whole bunch of new Pokemon that we are getting to play with. I'm pretty hyped.
Oh man, Series 7 started yesterday and I can't be more excited about that. I know there are tons of Pokemon that we're all excited to use.
Indeed. Have you jumped on the ladder?
I actually have jumped on the ladder. I just did 2. I couldn't sleep last night, so I hopped on and played 2 games. I am currently 2-0, so I am super excited about that one.
Oh, hot start. Nice. I haven't yet. Well, we see Gems is trying to pair up with Prime here. We can even start talking about their team since we got them on the screen there.
Yeah, let's go for it. So one thing I do want to say real fast, Will, so I'll tell you what Gem's team is real fast. It's Mamoswine, Tapu Fini, Regieleki. It's going to be Galarian, Moltres, Incineroar, and Kartana. So the one thing to say about her team is Regieleki is the fastest Pokemon in the entire game. At 200 base speed, there is nothing that can outspeed it, and that is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's exciting to see some new ceilings being set with the addition of Regieleki, and second fastest Pheromosa being added into the speed pool there and putting Dragapult a little bit down. So we've got an interesting team with the Galarian, Moltres as a part of it, Tapu Fini, also new additions there. I'm pretty excited to see how she plays with this team.
Yeah, so it looks like Prime is using female Indeedee, Stakataka, Primarina, who is also a water fairy type. Me and you had that conversation the other day, Will, about how there's 3 viable water fairy types, which is pretty cool. Followed by Primarina, there is the Torkoal, the G-Max Venusaur, and the G-Max Charizard. What are your thoughts there, Will?
A little bit of the Sunroom, not quite the Pokemon I've seen with the Primarina being added in there, but an interesting tech coming in. I have yet to see Stakataka in battle during my test, so I'm excited to see one actually played here tonight.
Yeah, Stakataka is a really cool Pokemon. One of the Ultra Beasts. It has some really good stats. It's very defensive. It sets up Trick Room, and it is 4 times weak to ground, I believe. If I'm
Yeah.
wrong, feel free to correct me at any point.
No, that's true, which is why it's the most common item I've seen is that Shuka Berry. And from looking at Jem's team, she is quite a confident ground type user there. And something as fast as Regilucky can easily or can help out for Mammoth Swine to do maybe enough damage on that stack attack with just one, even through the Shuka Berry.
Yeah, so it looks like Jess Henlo's in our chat making fun of my background. Jess, it does not take any points. You just have to make fun of me one time and I'll fix it. All right, let's see. Is that better? Let me know if that's better. F's in the chat if it's better. Only 80. Oh my goodness. So yeah, one thing I do want to say about, I really want to talk about this Tapu Fini, man. I really like it a lot. It's not on my first team, but it is on my second team. The cool thing about it is you can run it in so many different ways. Yeah, it gets Nature's Madness. It's got Calm Mind viability. It hits pretty hard. It's a really cool, as we mentioned, Will, it's got that typing of the Water Fairy, and I am super hype about that.
Yeah, the Misty Terrain is also really helpful to have as it gives her Pokemon some immunity. So, like for example, Incineroar Noir doesn't have to worry quite as much with those safety goggles, and you see here she has a berry instead. So that's a nice little change to have, a little reassurance that you don't have to work through status conditions.
Yeah, I've seen quite a few different items on that Tapu Fini as well. I've even seen some specs. I mean, mostly I've seen like Citrus Berry is a pretty common. That's what I recommend. And we are going to see a lot of Incineroar teams, a lot of Incineroar Tapu Fini teams throughout this meta. Expect that to be good. Also, I really like that name on the Kartana a lot, Katagami. Very cool.
Santaco's in the chat has a question, a Tapu Fini question specifically. Does Kartana the Grass move 100% OHKO it, or does it need a crit? And as far as the damage calcs, I don't know that one specifically, but I would imagine if we're non-Dynamax, that depending on the spread, Tapu Fini might have a chance to live. But I would imagine it's going to be pretty close almost all the time. Just depends on spreads though.
Tapu Fini is pretty bulky. I think it would need a boost in order to straight up one-shot it, depending on your investment in the Tapu Fini. But I mean, that Tapu Fini it's more bulky than you think.
All right, so
crazy.
We got our leads here. We've got the Galarian Moltres and the Mammoth Swine on Gem's side, and opposing, facing off, we have Stakataka and Dusclops. So really trying to get that Trick Room set up here is prime with both options.
Yeah, so something from Prime here, we might just see a straight Trick Room, maybe even an ally switch set up to avoid like anything of a taunt maybe, or flint chances, but it is just going to be the Protect from the Stakataka, Fiery Wrath coming from the Moltres, going into the Protect wall, and also targeting down that Dusclops, doing more damage than I expected. It is going to be Life Orb.
Yeah, Life Orb showing there. Maybe got the flinch coming. We'll see after Mammoth Swine's attack here with the free EQ spread that's damage just on Dusclops, and is still taking it barely down to a third health there.
Yeah, pretty impressive defense there from the Dusclops, as it's not going to take that much damage from that Earthquake coming from the Mammoth Swine.
And did you see Dusclops attack there? I didn't even catch what it did. Did it flinch?
I think it set up Trick Room. It may not have. I think I missed it.
No, I didn't see the animation.
Amy woke.
It was a flinch. Okay.
Flinch, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see the text go through, but I know Dusclops did not get up Trick Room. I was waiting for the animation, but okay. So that flinch actually paid off. Now Stakataka is exposed to the Mammoth Swine, and we see the Prime going ahead with the Dynamax and that Beast Ball. You know it's going to be that Stakataka getting big here.
Yeah, so as Amy Wokefloss is saying in the chat, it is a dark type special rock slide. So one of our other casters, Rollercoaster, is known for saying that famous Trick Room prevent tactic, the 30% chance to flinch. And this time it is just going to straight up take the Dusclops out. So not going to have to worry about Trick Room getting set up, as the Stakataka is Dynamaxed.
And then here we have the EQ entirely on Stakataka. It does a good chunk, but Stakataka we see the weakness policy proc, and it's sitting right about 40% health left. And with this Dynamax, we see the Steel Spike coming out. That's going to be into Mamoswine, no doubt. And that takes it down to its focus Ash. We'll see that proc here. And now Stakataka could potentially live in EQ next turn, but the combo Fiery Wrath EQ I think will be enough. We'll see what the spread, depending on the spread as well, once the second Pokemon comes out here.
Yeah, I think that's very useful information from Prime there, proccing that Focus Sash, I'm sorry. That's really good because it could have gotten the Beast Boost there, but instead you are also getting that information that it has that item rather than seeing possibly maybe Gemma was going for the Choice Band trick, trying to get Prime to think that she has a Choice Band on that, possibly clicking Earthquake over and over again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so for the next battle, but delaying the beast boost should allow it to go for maybe another attack into Moltres, as the Torkoal could just easily pick up the Mamoswine with some spread move. That's if she's willing to let it get another attack off.
Yeah, so it looks like our competitors are still selecting their moves. We are just going to see a max guard come here from the Stakataka, not wanting to get knocked out of its Dynamax, maybe thinking a double target might be coming down, but instead it is going to be the Fiery Wrath going into this Torkoal, doing close to 50%. That Life Orb is putting in some good work for this Galarian Moltres.
Yeah, and the Earthquake should be enough to take out Torkoal easily. And now we've got Stakataka down to its last partner and its final turn of Dynamax here, with Gem sitting pretty with her first two Mons still out there making a threat.
Yeah, so it looks like Prime is going to switch in the Indeedee this turn. Psychic Surge is going to come up and be set. You can't follow me away. Two spread moves, right, Will?
No, you definitely can't. So Indeedee might have to do something. It's probably going to be forced to attack. I don't know what else. Maybe the Helping Hand comes out, but we don't see it here. The spread damage comes. Indeedee's down to about a quarter, and the EQ should be enough to take both these bonds out here. Yeah, we see the double spread is enough to end both of these Pokemon, with Gem's taking a solid 4-0 pretty quick here.
Yeah, so pretty impressive stuff from Gemma there, acknowledging the fact that she can just lead with Galarian Moltres and the Mamoswine, knowing that she can just freely click Fiery Wrath plus Earthquake throughout the entire first game and just take the first game by just doing that. I think... Go ahead, Will.
We gotta admit, like Galaxian God in the chat said, that flinch made the game. Once Dusclops didn't get that Trick Room off, it was going for Trick Room turn one, and that flinch prevented it. It gave Gem so much momentum. So in the next battle, we'll have to see what Prime is willing to do to maybe take that risk again, or find some other way to avoid it and get the Trick Room off.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of different things that Prime could do to play this set a little bit different. You could avoid the Trick Room tactic and not worry about losing to the flinch. So how I would go about doing that is potentially leading with something like your Indeedee plus maybe Venusaur, or Indeedee plus Charizard, and then you can switch Torkoal in, bring the Sun in, and then go on the offensive and just start targeting down Gemma's Pokemon. That's one way to go about it. Or you can just stick with the Trick Room method and say, you know what, I got flinched last time. This time around, there's a pretty good chance that I don't.
Yeah, and that 30% is a big gamble in being down the first game. I would think the Venusaur would be a pretty safe lead. Like you said, having that pivot in the Torkoal, I've seen that pretty commonly used. It's a pretty good momentum benefit as well if you can play it right in that first turn. It gives you a little bit of safety.
Yeah, I would agree.
Players should be finishing up their picks here. Looks like Gems is locked in.
Yeah, so Prime does have a pretty cool team here. It does have both modes where you can go fast with the Venusaur under Sun with the Torkoal, or you can go with the Trick Room option with both Stakataka and the Dusclops. As you mentioned, Will, you called it the Sun Room, and that is going to be a very popular team variation in this format, I believe.
Yeah, and so coming here, I think the Venusaur Torkoal is going to come out first. Oh, we see Indeedee Dusclops, and Gems could probably go back into her same too, but she actually leads with the Incineroar here. So the fake out pressure is off with the Psychic Surge, and Dusclops being a ghost type, so that makes it pretty easy. No worry about the fake out, but we do have double dark type against Ghost Psychic, so that's a lot. That's a lot of scary mons on Gem's side of the field for these two.
Yeah, so pretty cool switch up here with the Incineroar for Gemma instead of going with that Mamoswine. Although Mamoswine is a very cool Pokemon, as we're seeing it talked about in the chat. Mamoswine is very cool.
I love Mamoswine. It's been such a great ground type for a long time, but just Ice is so weak at so many points right now.
Yeah, I don't think it can take too many hits. But it is a pretty cool Pokemon. I think Focus Sash is definitely the best item on Mamoswine. Unless you're going to go for something like Scarf or whatever. So we are going to see the Nasty Plot here from Gemma's Galarian Moltres. Going to go ahead and get some early game set up. And I think that's massive because she's staring down two Pokemon that are super effective. We are going to see the U-turn come from the Incineroar, targeting down that Indeedee. Going to do about 30% and return to Gemma.
We saw something interesting as well, that Indeedee went for a Heal Pulse, expecting the Moltres' damage onto Dusclops and gonna heal it back up. And that would have been a huge amount of damage to take back off. And we see the pivot here with Tapu Fini coming in, resetting the terrain to that Misty Surge.
Yeah, that's very cool. Oh, go ahead.
And the Trick Room goes off here. So Moltres is sitting +2, but now gonna be moving last, I'd imagine, under this Trick Room here.
Yeah, but the good thing, Will, is that the only attack that Indeedee really usually brings with it is Expanding Force, which right now is only single target thanks to the switch in for Tapu Fini, and the Galarian Moltres is not affected by it.
Oh, and a great switch coming in with the Primarina. Gonna benefit from the Trick Room and having pretty good type advantage against both of Gem's Pokemon here with the Dark and the Fairy, or the Water Resistant Primarina.
Yeah, so we are going to see Gemma get greedy as she is going to go for a Calm Mind with the Tapu Fini, followed by another Nasty Plot from this Galarian Moltres. So this thing is at +4 now.
Oh goodness, this Moltres is so big, so huge right now. And yet both players holding off their Dynamax. No one has pulled the trigger on that yet. I don't know if Primarina can take much of anything that Moltres is going to be dishing out, and Tapu Fini is going to be resisting any damage coming from that pretty well with the Calm Mind being set up. So Gem's in a pretty strong position here. We see showing the Trick Room turns left at 3.
Yeah, so our trainers are running out of time to select their moves here, as it seems to be a pretty close battle here so far in the early turns. We are going to see the Indeedee switch out.
Yeah, Prime comes out, Sakataka's here, and then Gem's also pivoting out that Moltres even after getting the double Nasty Plot off and coming back in with Incineroar. The Intimidate is good timing for the Sakataka. I don't know if that's exactly what she thought was going to be coming in, but the Intimidate was super useful. Great timing there.
So we are going to see our first Dynamax of the game coming from Prime this time around. Obviously, it is going to be the Primarina. Most likely going to be a Max Starfall targeting down that that Galarian Moltres, as she's going to want to knock that out.
Yeah, this Incineroar is in a bad spot. It's neutral damage, and Primarina hits pretty hard. Let's see how it goes. All right, down. Yeah, a little bit, pretty well below half, right at about 30-35%. And Tapu Fini goes for another Calm Mind. Why not? Why not?
Oh man, Gemma is really feeling like setting up this time around. So pretty cool. Pretty cool from Gemma there. Honestly, I think if I'm Gemma, I'm gonna want to get this Incineroar out of here. I'm not sure if her Incineroar is invested in speed at all, but she's gonna really want to pray that this thing underspeeds the Primarina. Otherwise, it may be the end of Incineroar's game 2.
Yeah, and Incineroar is going to go for the fake out here, shutting down whatever Sakataka is going to go for. So at least Incineroar will stay alive because the best damage will be coming from Primarina. The Starfall coming in, and that'll take Incineroar out for sure.
Yeah, so no intimidating pivot from the Incineroar here on Gemma's side of the field. So that's super good from Prime. And oh my goodness, this is a +2 Muddy Water coming from the Tapu Fini. And it is going to straight KO the Stakataka.
Yeah, big trade there. Sakataka, as big as it is, was completely shut down in this turn. So pretty fair trade, taking one without Dynamaxing yet, and Primarina down to its last Dynamax turn here. And Santaco's, in the chat there, yes, I do have a Charizard blanket that's set across the back of my couch with
Will has Charizard everywhere.
the Pikachus are both Mega Charizard cosplays.
Will actually has a Charizard poster hanging above his bed on a ceiling, so he can look at it before he goes to sleep every night. Oh man,
it's not true.
So no, it's not. So Sir Wilson, I think we are going to see a pretty Gemma play here, as we know she really likes to mitigate the amount of damage that a Dynamax is going to do on the opponent's side. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a Max Guard here come from Galarian Moltres.
Okay, indeed protects. This is going to be one more turn of Trick Room after this, I believe. And we see Gemma starting to stall out the Trick Room as well with the Moltres. Don't want to leave it too exposed. Gonna take the Max Starfall. Oh, wow. Tapu Fini's actually being targeted here. We see it did just a little bit more than 50, about 55 damage, and Tapu Fini's sitting pretty full on health still.
Yeah, +2 Tapu Fini is looking pretty good, as it is going to get that Muddy Water off, only targeting down the Primarina, which it actually misses, so nothing happening from the Primarina there. But I will say, in Gemma's favor, the Trick Room is no longer up, and she is free to just go for whatever she pleases. Still has not used a Dynamax yet, so that is something to keep in mind as well.
Yeah, and DD is going to have to be a little annoying, although we see Gems does have the double spread move on both of these ones as well. And DD's out, maybe to reset the terrain later on, but we see the Dusclops coming in. Dusclops is not going to like the damage from this Moltres.
Yeah, and to think of that, it's also most likely going to see a +2 Muddy Water coming from this Primarina as well. And that is gonna come out. Let's see how much damage it does to this Dusclops, and it actually doesn't do too much, but this Dusclops, I believe, is in range to get knocked out next time around if this Galarian Moltres is able to take this attack, and it is, as it dodges the Moonblast coming from the Primarina.
Yeah, and Primarina's sitting right above 50%. It takes both of those hits pretty well, although we can see the Calm Mind's paying off from Tapu Fini. It's doing good chunk across both. The Max Darkness is going to be coming through here. Easily to secure the takedown on that Dusclops.
Yeah, so as mentioned, we are going to see the Galarian Moltres get the Dynamax here, and that thing is so majestic looking.
Yeah, they did a great job on this Pokemon and its Galarian form. We see the Protect from Primarina. Safely going to sit, stall out a Dynamax turn. I'm hoping to get one more turn to Trick Room up, but that will not happen. Dusclops is down to the Max Darkness. It's going to reduce Primarina's special defense, and this Tapu Fini is going to do nothing because of the Protect neutralizing the damage. Yep, the Moonblast, nothing happening there. And Indeedee will be coming right back out to play.
Yeah, so the terrain is going to change back here to the psychic terrain, which is cool for the Ndidi as it is potentially able to get off a expanding force, but as previously mentioned, it's not going to do anything to this Dynamaxed Galarian Moltres, as it is a dark type. So the only thing Prime's really going to be able to hit it with super effectively is going to be a Moonblast, and I don't think it's going to be enough to pick up a knockout. This Galarian Moltres might be able to just do it all by itself. We are going to see a darkness come out from it, targeting down that Ndidi who just protected, so not doing that much damage.
Yep. And then another special defense on this Primarina. Primarina did not go for the double protect in a last-ditch effort, so it's not going to take this Moonblast very well from Tapu Fini, and it might be Ndidi all alone. Yeah, that's the Primarina down, and Ndidi is staring down this giant, dark Galarian Moltres with one turn of Dynamax left.
Yeah, very cool. So it looks like it is just going to be, yeah, it is just going to be a Gemma taking the set. So that was pretty cool. Will, do you have any thoughts on that first game right there?
Wow, I've seen Galarian Moltres used, but Gemma really put a lot of work out of that Galarian Moltres. Her team did pretty great against Prime. That, as we saw in that first battle, the Trick Room being flinched off was a huge setback. But yeah, really well played out. Good positioning, a lot of rotations early on from Gems, and really saving her Dynamax for the end. While Prime had to make some good adjustments and some surprise switches as well to make it last that long.
Yeah, I will say that I am a big fan of Gemma's team, as I do think we're going to see the Incineroar plus the Tapu Fini on so many teams in this format. Yeah, I think that is probably the best duo potentially that you can come up with, as it does get the Intimidate and the Parting Shot, and you are able to just cycle those in and out, as she also does have the fastest Pokemon in the game, and Kartana, who is one of the hardest hitting Pokemon in the game, and she was able to find that really nice pair of the Galarian Moltres plus the Mamoswine, who are freely, as we saw, just able to go for spread attacks over and over again. But also real fast about Prime's team, I do like the Sunroom team a lot. I think that is going to be very good as well. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts.
Prime had some good answers. If that battle just gone a different way, he could have easily had Gems in a pretty bad spot. Stack Attack does have a good super effective damage against the one thing she brought from both battles, like Galarian Moltres. And we see here she shared that rental code of the team that she used tonight. So if any of you want to practice with it, feel free to snag that real quick, and you can take that to the ladder and have some fun.
Yeah, so very close one there. Sir Wilson, I think that this is the end of my commentary for the night. I think it's yours as well.
Indeed, but I will be battling next, so stick around.
Yeah. So stick around for Sir Wilson in match 2, and then I will be playing in match 3. We will go to our Be Right Back screen, but do not worry, guys. We will not be gone for very long. All right, enjoy the rest of your Monday Night Friendly.
Hey, you like that video? We think you should check this out, and YouTube thinks you should check this one out. Be sure to subscribe for more content.